Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to go over the Friday, May 24th, Dallas versus Minnesota game. And yeah, we're going to decode this real quick. And yeah, let's start with looking at the odds real quick. The opening odds are plus 175. Mavericks being an underdog in this one. This is game 2, by the way. Minus 220 starting for Minnesota. Plus 185 for Dallas. Minus 205 for Minnesota. And we're going to go over this real quick. The spread is 5.5, depending on the sportsbook you go with. Minnesota favored by 5 points, 5.5 points. And the total is at 207, 207.5. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started with this one on the Decode. And yeah, let me pull up my notes. All right. Actually, it's West Finals. Change that. There we go. All right. Dallas and Minnesota. Opening money line plus 175. 1 plus 75 equals 76. 17 plus 5 equals 22. And 1 plus 7 plus 5 equals 13. And that's how we get these values up top. We only do that to the opening odds. The opening odds here, not the best odds. The best odds are the current odds. And minus 220 for Minnesota. That's easy. It's called reduction. 220 reduces to 22. 22 plus 0, which also reduces to 4. 2 plus 2 plus 0 equals 4. And no need to do the 2 plus 20 because that equals 22 as well. Plus 185, positive 185 for Dallas currently. We're going to refresh the page at the end of this to see if it's still holding up this way. Minus 205 for Minnesota. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started with the decode. Total 207, 207.5. Minnesota favored by 5.5 points, depending on the bookie you go with. But let's get started with the decode. Dallas opening money line plus 175. 17 plus 5 equals 22. Minnesota opening money line minus 220. 22 plus 0 equals 22. And Dallas equals 22. As you can see right here, Dallas equals 22 in single reduction. Dallas opening money line plus 175. 1 plus 7 plus 5 equals 13. Dallas equals 13. And Minnesota head coach can get 13th playoff loss. And Dallas head coach currently has 13 playoff losses as Mavericks head coach. So I'm going to show you all of this. Dallas equals 13. As you can see right here. Dallas head coach can stay on 13. He currently has 13 losses in the postseason. Jason Kidd as the Mavericks head coach, as well as the Minnesota head coach, Chris Finch. He can get his 13th loss in the postseason. As you can see right here, he's 11-12 in the postseason. All right, Minnesota currently on 29 postseason wins for their franchise. As you can see right here, they're 29-46 all time in the playoffs. On 29 date numerology, the 24th of May, 5 plus 24 equals 29. Dallas head coach can get 29th playoff loss. As you can see right here. Right here. Go back to Jason Kidd's page. 27-28 is his current record for his career in the postseason. He can get his 29th playoff loss is a possibility in this one. Game on 73 date numerology. 5 plus 24 plus 20 plus 24 equals 73. Timberwolves equals 73 in Kabbalah. You can see right here, Timberwolves equals 73 in Kabbalah. Also, Timberwolves 55. Games on 55 date numerology, just to add to it. You can see right there, just caught that right now. But where's the money going for this one? The spread. Minnesota favored by 5 points, 5.5 points. Minnesota, well, Dallas 42% of the bets. This is all based off global sportsbook averaging data. 42% in favor of the Mavericks, 58% of the bets in favor of Minnesota. 29% in favor of the money for Dallas, 71% in favor for Minnesota. And despite losing game one on the money line, they're still massive favorites. But this is still currently early in the morning, a few hours before the game. 84% for Minnesota of the bets on the money line, 87% of the money going in Minnesota's favor in this one. So people don't expect them to go down 0-2 in this one. And the unders are dominating this one. People don't expect this one to be a high-scoring game. Unders are 96% going under on the bets, and 98%, almost everybody going under on the money currently, which is a rarity this postseason. Even with this 207 relatively low, and a lot of people betting the under in this one. But yeah, let's refresh this page. Let's see if that still holds up. Plus 185 minus 205. Yep, still holding up here. Same result. Now, in this one, with this Minnesota being 87% of the money, 84% of the bets on the money line, and they're still over this 205. The only way, and they lost in game one, which means the sports books would definitely take a loss in this one, giving that had Minnesota won, or if these odds were higher, which they're probably going to. In other words, the odds are going to have to go higher. This is going to have to go higher if Minnesota is going to win this game. This minus 205 is relatively low, considering 87% of the money is going in their favor, and they lost game one. Because more people are going to put I'm going to tell you now, Sharps are going to put money on Dallas with this high plus 185. If Dallas increases in this game, they will lose this game. If this increases to plus 190, plus 200, yeah, the Mavericks are not winning this. As it stands, it's still a toss-up, but as it stands, the Mavericks could win. If this goes higher, they may not. Keep that in mind, especially with this high favor going in favor of Minnesota on the spread and the money line. But yeah, sportsbooks would definitely take a loss if Minnesota were to win this game, especially by more than 5 points, as they are getting 71% of the money. That's significantly high, considering they lost game one, and the spread went up by a point from game one. They were 4.5 point favorites in the first one, game one. So that minus 205, negative 205. The only way Minnesota wins this game is if that goes significantly higher. When I say significantly higher, I'll say maybe about minus 220, which what it originally was right here. Or maybe more than this, more than negative 220. That's the only way Minnesota will win this game. As it stands, I'm not confident in that in Minnesota, but relatively low considering they're getting all of this money. Sportsbooks would definitely capitalize on this and go higher right here. But let's see the cost on the spread currently. Okay, so 108, 110, that's pretty even. That's going to change throughout the day. Now that spreads have changed to 5.5 across the board. So, and as I told you, 5.5 points, 55 date numerology. Timberwolves equals 55. And that 55 is significant because they could fall on their number. Sacrifice equals 55. Single reduction. Also notice that 73 we went over. Timberwolves equals 73 on 73 date numerology. But yeah, pray every day. I've been Scott. Join the Patreon. Link is in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care.